So, listen, I'm not a member of the Labour Party anymore. I haven't been for at least 2 months at this point, but I will just say I'm fucking speechless right now because of this situation. And without really needing much of an explanation why, I'll just straight up tell you because the comments that Frank Hester has... Was it Frank Hester or was it Tony Hester? I'm going to have to double check one more time. It's super important I get these things. Frank Hester. Sorry about that. So, the comments that Frank Hester made towards Diane Abbott are... they speak for themselves. They represent every single thing that is wrong with this country. That powerful men, rich powerful men in very high positions who are incredible friends slash donators to the Conservative Party turn out to say things that are about as racist as they get. They represent every single thing that's wrong with British politics, and it's not helped by several other things. You may remember only a few weeks ago, Rishi Sunak said that he was living proof why Britain is not racist, as if that accompanies for just about every other flaw within his own party, and also some of the things that his party believe and have defected to would suggest this claim is a little bit skewed, to say the least. Because, well, that's this, and bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know fine well that I'm going to keep this short for a very specific reason, because I just want to get straight to it, is that, are you trying to tell me that that's the sort of party you want to be associated with? Is that the sort of party you want to give your votes to? Is it really? And I'm just asking the question, not because I'm trying to convince people to come over to Labour, but I'm just asking people, is that what you want to be seen as? Because if you vote Conservative from this point on, you're just straight up almost saying, I've got no issue whatsoever with the fact that people associated through donations to the Tory party say things that are incredibly racist and incredibly disrespectful. Because, that you think that's okay and fun to do. Well, I'm sorry, but it isn't. And I'm so glad to hear that literally just about less than an hour ago, Diana Abbott reported Frank Hester to the police. And you know what? I'm so glad that she's done that. Because just like I said about... even though if Jeremy Corbyn doesn't actually take Nigel Farage to court over what Nigel Farage has said about Jeremy Corbyn, I more than hope to God Diana Abbott takes Frank Hester to court over this. Because... it just about speaks for... Because you know what? I'm just going to put my foot down and say, you know what? There should be some form of reparation. There should be some compensation for Diana Abbott about this. Because you try to tell me that's what the Tories have resorted to thinking they can get one over on Labour by racially abusing a 70-year-old woman. That's the Conservatives' idea of progress. Are you frigging kidding me? No. This is the road we're going down, ladies and gentlemen. I just want people to understand this. Remember when I keep saying things that my policies, if I stood on behalf of a party or if I was standing as an independent, my policies, in fact, I'd say pretty much the golden rule of them would be we should be learning how to work together, not fight each other. Well, just look at what's happened, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Anderson retreats over to Reform and has already made his presence felt. And like I said, he gives off incredible Mussolini vibes just through his behaviours and his actions and the actions he's yet to commit. Because trust me, I don't think we're done listening to Lee Anderson yet, but I will get to that later. But yeah, let's face it, the Conservatives are not interested whatsoever in trying to cooperate, trying to, work together. They're more interested in being in the pay of people who will just straight up do that and think that no consequence comes their way. And that's the sad reality of this, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple, is that all they will want you to think is that this is yesterday's news. Diane Abbott doesn't take Frank to court. Nothing happens out of this. Even if Frank is taken to court, what form of reparation is going to be made? What are the results of what this case could possibly mean? And would people even care either way? And that's the thing I kind of like almost fearing for myself, is that literally nobody will care about this. In fact, many would probably say that that maybe Frank was possibly right. He isn't, but there will be people who will think he's right. And, well, this is as low. And listen, the Conservative Party have done some incredible lows over the last 14 years. Coincidentally, how long they've been in power. But this might literally be it. The very, very bottom of it, ladies and gentlemen. And I think they will find new ways to sink even lower. And like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are at right now. We've gone from claims saying that Britain is not racist because I'm the Prime Minister, to Michael Gove thinking he could subvert, for committing, for being a hypocrite, for saying that, extremists are radicalizing or subverting democracy, whilst Michael Gove was doing the exact same thing by telling people what to do and not to do as though he was the police. And now we have one of their donors just straight up make an incredibly racist attack on behalf towards a 70-year-old woman. Are you kidding me? That is the state of affairs we are in right now. And you know what? Even Kwasi Kwarteng, who again, even though he will get, he will get his just desserts as well, because he had a part to play in the crisis that we're in as well. Don't you worry about that. Even he went on to Politics Live earlier today and had some. Well, he was absolutely in no way agreeing with Frank whatsoever. And to be fair to Kwasi, is that he actually was. He delivered his response in a very dignified, matter-of-fact way, because, well, emotions aside, because my heart goes out for Diane Abbott and for her friends and family who had to be in the storm of all this. It makes you wonder as well, again, and it was similar to when Lee Anderson's comments, is the fact that there were people within the Conservatives who disagreed with Anderson, and there are going to be people from the Conservatives who also disagree with Frank Hester's comments, though some of them obviously run with their tails between their legs because they have no answer, because you can't really say Frank's right because he isn't. Objectively and subjectively, there's nothing you can actually agree with Frank Hester. And like I said before, and I'll just say this again, Frank Hester represents absolutely every single thing that's wrong with this country. Rich men who think they cannot be touched. I know Frank Hester must think that tomorrow means this will be old news and maybe in a week this will all blow over. Nobody will remember it. Nobody will bring it up. They'll think that everything is blown over, and Frank Hester will go about his business once again thinking he's on top of the world. But no one stays on top forever. Once again, my apologies, Diane Abbott. It's much rather you hear an apology from me than you do from Frank Hester, because if Frank Hester, and this is the one thing I generally do not know, if Frank Hester has not actually apologized to Diane Abbott directly since this storm has occurred, well, it's much rather you hear it from somebody who actually wants to say sorry for all the things you've had to put up with. And just to let you know is that actually, you're probably a better woman than any of us. Thank you.